Hello, and thank you for joining me today. I wanted to share a problem of practice that I've been reflecting on as I've prepared for my future Spanish classroom. The issue that I've noticed, and one that many teachers have shared with me when I ask them, is the lack of a student engagement when learning a new Spanish vocabulary or grammar. In many middle school Spanish classes, the students can feel disconnected from the material. They might memorize a vocabulary quiz, but they quickly forget afterwards. This results in limited real world language use. In a sense, Spanish is just another subject that they need to learn instead of a tool for communication and culture. So I want to explore strategies to make learning Spanish more interactive, meaningful, fun, but basically fun for middle schoolers. Thank you. Next, I'm gonna do the brainstorming. Obviously, it's just myself, so I'm gonna do the different parts. So in part two, I do have to create this dialogue with myself. So as I mentioned, I'm gonna be reading it. I written out what I would picture would be having a conversation with my colleagues into how to get the Spanish students more involved and engaged with the basically with the material. So at the colleague number one, this is a brainstorming session. We'll be saying, what if you incorporated more technology like interactive games or digital storytelling tools? Middle schoolers love using apps like Kahoot or Quizlet Live. Then the college number two will be saying, well, I have success with project based learning. For example, students could create a short skits or video blogs entirely in Spanish. It gives them more ownership over their learning. And then college number three, being a little bit more practical, maybe you could bring in cultural connections like Spanish music, food, or art to help the students see the value of learning the language, like a real life relevance often increases the engagement. And then hearing all this brainstorming, I will say, those are great ideas. I really like the idea of blending technology and cultural exploration. What if I implemented something like a cultural exploration week, where the students use the Spanish research, create and present projects about Spanish-speaking countries? Colleague number one will be, oh yes, you could integrate vocabulary and grammar naturally into their projects instead of isolating it. And then colleague number two, and then they could present in small groups to build confidence and practice conversational Spanish. Um, and yeah, well, after hearing all this great ideas, I've decided to focus on the cultural exploration project. In this plan, students will choose Spanish-speaking country, learn about its traditions, music, and foods, and present their findings in Spanish through short videos or posters. This will allow the student basically to apply the vocabulary and grammar in a meaningful context, while also exploring the cultural richness behind the language. Um, I think my reflection over is I think if I implemented this project, I would expect to see several positive changes, maybe increasing the students' engagement. Student will feel more personally connected to what they're learning, and then improve vocabulary retention as well because they're using new words in a creative real life projects. Higher confidence in speaking Spanish as well. Presenting in a low stakes collaborative environment will help the students overcome anxiety, which is a big topic when we're talking about like learning language. As myself, English being my second language, I think that was a huge thing that I had to overcome before becoming fluent. And then a stronger appreciation for the Hispanic cultures, encouraging them, respecting, like ingraining that curiosity and cultural understanding will help them a lot. And I think overall, this approach will shift the classroom from rote memorization to actually activate communication and a cultural discovery. But yeah, what else I have in here? I think that's it. Thank you so much for watching my brainstorming session and discussion of this problems practice. I'm excited to explore how engaging, culturally connected lessons can help middle school students truly live the language instead of just studying it. And also, I am excited to collaborate with other peers, and I feel especially myself that I'm not yet in a classroom, like hearing these amazing stories from other educators and use their experience to my knowledge and benefit and see how I can better serve the students and families, especially with Spanish. I think Spanish, the connections the brain makes by learning another language, not only understanding and being able to communicate with a completely different culture than ourselves, the benefit individually that it brings to us is amazing, and I'm excited to hopefully one day have my own classroom and explore these ideas. Thank you.